beat down. Acho's still alive. I don't know how. Acho, let's start with you, man. Tom Brady's Bucs look like Super Bowl contenders.
Marcellus, before I disrespect you any further, sir, can you just answer me? Are you saying yes or no? Because I just want to know if I need to offend you.
Yes, they are.
Okay. See, here's the problem. I'm so disappointed in Marcellus, specifically today, more than any other day in the history of television in which I've been watching him. And I've been watching him since he's been at other networks. Here's your problem, Marcellus. Your expectations for teams are so pathetically low that it is astronomically embarrassing. No, the Bucs don't yet look like Super Bowl contenders. Give it time. But Marcellus, they beat the Panthers. The Panthers were 6-10 last year. The Panthers' star player, one of the best players in the league, was hurt. The Panthers' head coach came from college. Their offensive coordinator came from college. Their defensive coordinator came from college. So you're going to look at the Bucs, who beat the Panthers. It was a one-possession game with about 4 minutes or 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden, they look like Super Bowl contenders because they beat the measly Panthers that were playing handicapped. Like, let's be real. The Buccaneers, they did look great yesterday. They're starting to find the rotation. Leonard Fournette, he's getting more carries than Ronald Jones. I think that's about to come. Leonard Fournette looked like a beast. Mike Evans, he finally got his again. 7 catches, 104 yards yesterday. But let's focus on the conductor. Let's focus on Tom Brady. Even though they got the win yesterday, Tom Brady, he still had, through these 2 games, he still has a career low in yards per game in the last decade. His yards per attempt, still a career low in the last 17 years. Tom Brady, it's not as if he's doing anything that is fantastic. So, no, the Bucs do not yet look like Super Bowl contenders. And here's the problem the Buccaneers are going to have to face. I got no issue with the Bucs. Here's the problem. Y'all aren't going to have another great litmus test until about week 6. Think about it. Your next 3 games, you're playing the Bears, you're playing the Broncos, you're playing teams that just aren't really going to give y'all a great litmus test. So the Bucs don't look like Super Bowl contenders now, and we're not going to know until week 6 when they play the Packers if we're keeping it 1,000% real. So Marcellus, I'm not sure how you plan on lying to the audience right now. I see you're still writing down notes, trying to conjure up your lies.
No, I'll just write down your
lies. I can't wait to hear it. Go ahead.
Okay, you ready? First, already let the cat out the bag. Tom Brady and the Bucs are contenders.
What are they contending for?
I'm going to tell you why they're contenders.
A wild card spot?
You know what you need to do, Acho, sometimes? Just sit back, relax, don't say anything, and watch The Throne. Ooh, The Throne. Watch The Throne. Makes me think of Tom Brady and his greatness, or makes me think of Jay-Z and Kanye. Watch The Throne when they had a song when they said...
We're quoting Kanye.
Oh, I love Kanye. Y'all ain't gonna get me on that. Hey, we could do a whole show on Kanye and Kanye.
Kanye was just seen peeing on a Grammy award, Marcellus. That's who we're quoting on television?
I don't know what you did with your Big 10 award, Big 12 awards, but hey.
I didn't urinate on him. I didn't urinate on him.
One, that doesn't take away from some of the things he's done correctly.
Get to your point.
And one of the things he did correctly was create an album called Watch the Throne with Jay-Z. What you gonna say about him? And more importantly, they had a song, Who Gonna Stop Me? Who gonna stop me? And when I think about it in those terms, and then I use Acho when he doesn't pee on his awards, and he tells me that you're judged based on your competition. When he first started the show, it's about the competition. It doesn't matter how good it looks, how bad it looks, it's just beating the other guys. So then I start looking at who gonna stop him? Who gonna stop him, huh? Green Bay. Is Green Bay that much better this year? It looks that way. It looks that way, except, once again, what they're doing, what they always do, beat up on their division, and then we'll see what the litmus test is, Acho, after they get out the division. What about San Francisco? Good Lord, friendly fire, pop, 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 everybody down right now. They should recover, they should respond. We'll see. Some of these injuries may be season long. We'll see. New Orleans. Week 1, Tom Brady in a new situation, new system. They shut down Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas.
And that's what happened.
They lost that game. But you got to figure.
Go back to relaxing.
Why are they sitting there fearing anybody? Who is out there that could stop Tom Brady and the Bucs? Now, here's the greater point. Because last week, the sky was falling, according to Acho, because Tom Brady was 0-1. Even though Tom Brady in 21 years has never been 0-2, including this year. Never been 0-2. But more importantly, when he was 0-1, I don't understand why Acho doesn't do his homework. Those 3 years he was 0-1, he went to the Super Bowl all 3 years and won 2 of them. The point is, this is a team that doesn't see anyone in their way that they fear. Who gonna stop them? And they got the guy who's sitting on the throne, so you need to watch it.
I tend to agree a little bit with both of you.
Come on.
I do not look at them as being, hold on. I do not look at them as being a Super Bowl contender today. Today, I do not. But here's why. I look at them as, okay, who is going to stop them? Like you said, Marcellus, right? There are a few good teams on their schedule. Their schedule actually is in favor of them having some good, good weeks ahead of them.
Yes.
But I'm with Acho on the fact that they are supposed to beat these teams, but take it the other direction and saying that's more pressure. We're going to find out. We are going to find out in the next couple weeks if they're a contender, Acho. And you know why? Because it's not just about beating teams when you're talking about being a Super Bowl contender. It's about style points. How do you beat those teams? All right.
Yo,
I was okay with the way they beat Carolina yesterday. All right. Yeah, you gotta have. If you're going to tell me you are a Super Bowl contender, you do have to beat the teams you're supposed to beat.
Absolutely.
They're already out the gate.
Really?
They're already out the gate with a strike against them because they lost to a Super Bowl contender. So you can say, oh, it's week one, but you know what? That week one Super Bowl contender did what with Tampa Bay? Disposed of them. Okay. You go out against a team in Carolina that you're supposed to win, and you beat them. You look at this trick play right here. That concerns me. Why? Tom Brady, you can't get the ball downfield any better than that to your guys? That's okay. But we're going to find out in the next couple of weeks against teams they should beat, how well they play against them, and what they're able to do against them. That will dictate our vantage point of how good this team really is versus how good they can possibly be. And to me, they got to hit what they can possibly be before I can start talking about they're a Super Bowl contender.
If we aren't going to praise the Browns for beating the Bengals, then how dare we, in the same mouth and same vocal cords, praise the Bucs for beating the Panthers, Sir Marcellus,
I'm here.
Wiley.
I'm here.
How can we do that? We came up here on Friday and we said, man, the Browns beat the worst team in the league. How dare we? It was a bad team. They took an easy test. That's what Marcellus
said.
Baker doesn't get a pass. Baker wasn't that impressive. He wasn't even the best team on the field. He wasn't even the best quarterback on the field. But then this same Marcellus, just 96 hours later, the Bucs are world beaters. Oh, my God. Who's going to stop them, huh? Who's going to stop anybody? Marcellus, they didn't look that good. They were only ahead of the Panthers by 7 with 157 left. Who's going to stop them? Anybody could stop them. A plethora of teams could stop the Buccaneers because the Buccaneers. Plethora. Yeah, we got to bring out SAT words because Marcellus is an SAT type of individual. Anybody could stop them. Marcellus, they're not that impressive, at least not thus far. Can they get that impressive? Sure. But Marcellus, the person on the throne, Tom Brady, he may have to leave the kingdom sooner than later because, again, lowest yards per attempt since his rookie season. Oh, it's out. Can he get the football out? You're talking about get it out. You need to be telling that to Tom Brady. Get it out, because that's the problem. So you're sitting here banking on this GOAT, but like I told you on Friday, and I will tell you again, we haven't seen Tom Brady the GOAT since 2017. Keep hoping and wishing on a dream.
Wow.
If you will.
Y'all really gonna put this on me, knowing that I respond best when it's on me, when the pressure comes. All right, they lost in week one. You guys should have done your homework and said they should lose in week one. One, they played against the New Orleans Saints, who has won that division.
I called that. You didn't, sir.
Two, Bruce Arians is 2-5 in week one. But also,
Marcellus,
the rest of September, he has a winning record in 10-4. So you should have known he was going to lose week one.
What do you mean they should have lost?
All I'm saying is the continuity. They're going against a team that won 13 games last year with continuity in this pandemic offseason.
That's a Super Bowl contender.
Yes. Now, I'm going to make my point. And then y'all can beat up my point, but you can't beat me up. We already see how this is going to play out. Here's the thing. I keep hearing litmus tests and how a win should look and complexion of win and the way you win, and that's how you're going to tell if you're a Super Bowl contender. I can't believe y'all checks going to clear by saying stuff like this. Last year, we saw 5 teams in the NFC all have 10 wins or more. The 49ers, they passed the eyeball test, didn't they? And that's why they were in the Super Bowl. Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers. 13 wins. Where's the litmus test? Oh, they actually didn't pass the eye test. There were question marks against them. They were 1 game away from the Super Bowl. Do they scare this Tampa Bay Bucs team this year? The Saints, 13 wins last year. Do they scare them this year after they already shut them down in their winning formula? Drew Brees under 200 yards. Michael Thomas, 17 yards. Kamara got shut down. Do they scare them?
Yes.
And one game under their belt, they do not scare them. Let's talk about the Seahawks, who could only win when the starting quarterback gets knocked out. As Acho says, illegal hit, dirty hit. And that's a 13-win team. And then you have the Vikings, who are struggling this year, despite them going out there last year.
Struggling.
And the same Vikings that beat the Saints last year in the playoffs, but they're struggling this year. My point is, you guys can keep telling me who is daunting out there, which teams you got to be scared of, which teams are formidable. But you know what? When you look at that landscape and realize the Tampa Bay Bucs have now inserted themselves right there, and that's why they're contenders.
Marcellus, today Marcellus is like a snake with no venom. He comes out here a little intimidating because the suit's a little tight. He comes out here talking and barking real loud, but you realize his bite and his words are lethal, and they're not lethal at all, and they're meaningless. Marcellus, you just uttered a whole bunch of nothings, but none of that meant nothing to the point.
How? You're going to get if you're going to go to the top of the NFC Mountain, those are the teams that we're supposed to face on record.
And you're saying
right now, none of those teams are scared. The 49ers are all beat up.
They lost to the Saints.
They lost to. That's my point, Marcellus. They lost to the Saints.
You didn't catch the continuity point? Y'all really going to go there when this team first game out is playing against a team that won a division 3 times in 13 games last year. And they shut down all of their weapons.
The question, Marcellus, does it matter? If we get to week 17 of the season, man, it was still Bruce Arians' first year with Tom Brady, so you know what? They really didn't have it.
You know what, Acho, let me give it to you why it matters. You remember when the Giants won the Super Bowl and they played the New England Patriots in week 17, and they were 9-7. People were like, oh, that was a close game, that was a good game, but they lost. Some people took your lane. Oh, it means nothing. They lost. Who cares? And some people said, they got a formula off of that, and they got themselves bruised but not beaten, and they will respond if they get a chance to see that team again. They did, and they beat a perfect team. If I could beat a perfect team, how come I can't beat a 13-win team that lose to Minnesota the year before in the playoffs? I'm dropping mics around here.
The goalpost has moved again.
All right, well, speaking of moving, let's get up out this block right now.